Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the third week of the second season of the Commonwealth Esports. I am your caster, Tank the Crate, and I am here with the wonderful Sneezes as well.
Hey, I'm here giving you guys analysis. We're seeing bans fly by. We got Zoe, Jace, Azir off the board. Monster Mash is currently winless. Both teams are winless if I remember correctly. And we're seeing targeted bans, right? You know, Zoe's a super strong ban against BB. Azir is a catastrophe specific ban who's actually not playing today, which is interesting. Maybe he is under Mandingo Azir. I don't think so. Well, Azir in the username, but Yasuo target ban at Snow Too Funky in the bot lane, though that could be a flex to Islamic Samurai in the top lane. We got a ton of pick ban just flying by. This is one of the fastest pick bans of the season with the Zyra first pick. What do you think about the Zyra?
Definitely one of the stronger supports, especially with the Morgana off the board. One of Zyra's hardest counters out there. I don't really think there's anyone else besides like hard tanks that can really deal with the Zyra. But even then, Zyra is definitely one of the most damage output supports out there. So definitely a great pick, but the Tristana is definitely a good counter pick to it as well.
Yeah, I like that the Tristana has a long range and it can also go aggressive in the lane. Really, the storyline around this game for me is that both of these teams are winless, and walking out of the game today, someone's not going to be. So to me, it's about comfort, it's about power picks. Lionheart Esports has gone for Nautilus a couple times. We'll see how it works out.
Nautilus Tristana combo is definitely a good way to keep a bot lane at least even, if anything, with Tristana's range and Nautilus's engage. And definitely once 6 hit, they should either be dominating the lane for sure, or it's just you're gonna have a really even flat lane across all the time.
And so you got Mordekaiser locked in for Islamic Samurai in the top lane, which is really interesting pick. Basically tanky. Oh, they meant to be Lucian. Okay, so there's a bug on the pick. It's supposed to be a Lucian pick. So we're looking at Lucian and one other champion. We'll see how it's locked in. Lucian Galio.
Interesting. So they're definitely getting their bot
so you
lane.
have the mid lane done. I think Galio is going to be mid, personally. With the buffs that were taken, the buffs that were given by Riot, it seems like Galio is now a workable... Oh, is that a Twitch jungle?
Twitch
it looks
jungle.
like a Twitch jungle. This is super spicy.
Bringing back the 6th season. Love this.
Yeah, teams, both these teams are winless. I think a cheese strategy around like a level 2 gank or just using the stealth to get some creative gank paths could be super interesting. Kindred ban, again, there's some very interesting, what I want to call non-meta bans coming across. It seems like both these teams have done their research and they're just choosing to ban out comfort from these groups. It's just, hey, we know these guys play this, that, the other thing. That's what they're trying to ban. So I'm interested to see the top lane matchup here. It seems really really interesting. Remembering the Mordekaiser is actually a Lucian pick. There was some bug there in the pro draft. It seems like these solo lanes are getting less and less priority than maybe a strong bot lane jungle combo. So we'll see what happens. I expect a jungle ban out of MASH here, but who knows? Or no, they wouldn't because Twitch.
There's already one jungle and technically a jungle top ban from the Jax, but if Twitch is running the jungle, that is definitely going to be a Jax up in the top lane.
Yeah, it's the Jax is a good ban against new meta Edu. He's had it banned out against him in previous weeks. I really like the Shen pick. You're seeing some flex pick potential here too. I do believe the Shen is top and Nautilus is support, but you have a lot of options here with this composition. You need good peel for double AD, and so they're relying on Twitch and Tristana's damage and saying, hey, we're going to be tanky.
And Shen is definitely one of the stronger off-meta champs because of his not only free shield he gets, the plenty of damage he can put out, he also can go to any lane that he needs to at any time with his ultimate, which provides a massive shield with it the lower the health they are as well.
And good synergy with runes. That's the cool thing about Shen. He can proc Grassblade Undying and Shield Bash in the same auto attack. It's a pretty good group of synergies there. I really like the Gragas pick from Monster Mash. You're looking hopefully at a Predator Gragas. This is a champion that can gank all 3 lanes. This is like, to me, Gragas is the it is Corki. So Galio top, I'm assuming, with a you have Lucian. So the Mordekaiser's Lucian, remember? So you have Zyra Lucian, Galio Gragas Corki. So I'm assuming that's a Galio top. But very interesting take there.
So Corki, the only place I can actually see him being useful is definitely in the mid lane, but so there is the jungler with a Nocturne. So that is actually going to be a Tristana mid, if I'm going to be guessing correctly, which definitely is a interesting, but it puts 2 ADCs onto the board as well, and they definitely put out an ADC that's not the best in the meta right now.
Just as a cheese pick, or you're looking at a Nocturne mid to be extra spicy. You know, there's so much flex pick on the table for Lionheart Esports. You don't see bottom of the standing teams have this kind of variability and this flexibility, but I'm really interested to see where all these champs line up. You know, I feel like you have 2 different philosophies getting put into this game, right? Mash is like, hey, here's what we figured out in scrims. Here's our style: Zyra AoE, Gallia AoE, Gragas AoE, Corki AoE. You know, with a nice Lucian to back up your early game and give you some good damage in the mid game. And then Lionheart is like, we are gonna flex pick to the point where no one has any idea what's going on. So super interesting. We're getting into the bans now. Hopefully this flies pretty fast, and we can start seeing where these champions are getting slotted in.
So I'm definitely curious because Galio, with the recent tons of extra damage bursts, definitely put him back onto the board, but he isn't quite up there yet. But with Proto Belt in his hand, it puts him in a pretty good spot against most champions in the mid lane, at least. But with the other team not really having too much AP on the other side, I don't know if Galio is gonna thrive or just kind of get shredded the whole game.
Yeah, I don't really know either. It's a very interesting take. I'm not really sure he fits exactly into the top lane meta. I think it's kind of a wave clear and survive and impact the game later champion. But we'll see. I mean, I want to see if Shen Nocturne can abuse the matchup. I wonder if it's a Twitch jungle, are they going to gank him level 2 before he gets his E? There's so much that can happen there. I think it's a good pick, but we'll see. Islamic Samurai also, you know, full disclosure, he was a jungler for my team, and he's recently transitioned over to topside. So maybe this is a comfort pick where, you know, hey, we're not sure how you can play into matchups. Let's just play it out and be casual and get your farm. So
this is actually going to be a Corki versus Tristana mid lane for sure now. Corki might be running the cleanse, which I don't know if that's going to be very helpful against the Tristana, unless it can deal with the bomb. I'm not quite sure, but definitely 2 very non-meta champions going into the mid lane, giving one side 2 ADCs and the other really hard engager when Corki gets that package.
I'll be fuddling.
Excuse me.
Yeah, so I have confirmed, you know, the mid laner previously, and he also played a couple rounds of jungle for Monster Mash, was Catastrophe. It's the same player on Mandingo Azir, so he's on a different account. It's the same player, it's been confirmed. So the Corki pick, super not surprising. This guy's an excellent Corki and Azir player. He plays those kind of poke control champions really well, and look for him to have a really good impact against this Tristana, because, you know, without a lot of help, if Tristana doesn't get help, this is a Corki matchup for sure.
So getting into it finally, as we finally get to see the full lineup. Galio, Shen in the top lane, Gragas Nocturne rolling into the jungle, Corki versus Tristana in the mid, Lucian, Zyra with a Twitch Nautilus rocking the bot lane. Which fight are you more excited to see once it starts getting to, like, you know, level 3, level 4, the ganks start coming out? You know, who do you think is going to have the best time when it comes to gank, or the worst times?
I want to see the matchup in the mid lane. The double ADC mids is really interesting to me. And really, I think how this game is going to go, barring a crazy invade or weird level 1 play, I think level 6 is going to be the turning point for both teams. Gragas gets barrel, Nocturne gets ult, Shen gets ult, Galio gets ult, Corki can get his poke and his package. There's so many globals and pseudo globals here. I'm wondering how the game's gonna turn as soon as the laning phase starts breaking down. Because the other area is that bot lane here is super volatile. Zyra Lucian just can dumpster a lane, and Twitch is pretty short range. So maybe what we look at and see is how much abuse does Twitch have to deal with.
So, little side note on the Twitch, Buffalo, who it was actually part of the first season, actually used to be my ADC back when I played with the Wolfpack. And knowing how he plays, I mean, he may have gotten a lot better. He may have changed quite a bit, but Buffalo definitely is one of the strongest ADCs I've ever seen and played with. So I give him a lot of props. And he's definitely he's got a lot of hype and competitiveness atmosphere with him, so he definitely brings a lot onto the table, to say the least.
So I can say very similar things about Snow Too Funky. He's a very aggressive player. In scrims, my team against him has struggled at times, and it's always a very feast or famine matchup. We win hard or they win hard. So I'm wondering how that mutual aggression lines up. Do we see do we see a lot of early trading and damage and maybe go for an all-in or a kill? Are they going to call their junglers really early? Are we looking at, some bot lane focus here? That's what I'm interested in. Do you think both these teams are going to play around their bot lane? Because I could see that for sure, especially with the aggressive picks like Twitch and Lucian. I'd say Twitch, I wouldn't say is aggressive. It's probably just a Buffalo special, right? It's something that he really knows and understands, and he's going to try to do his roams and get something going. This is kind of like an old school Uzi pick. Back in 2014, I had the pleasure of going to Worlds to watch them to watch the quarterfinals. TSM versus Samsung White, Cloud9 versus Samsung Blue. There were a lot of great matchups, and there was an awesome series where Royal Never Give Up, now RNG, um, played against, I believe it was KT, and they got down early. They were way behind. They brought it out to 5 games, and Uzi got on Twitch and super carried. It was such a good series. So Uzi's one of my favorite players. Twitch is a great champion. It's an old school Uzi champion. Super interested to see if this guy can channel Uzi for the next 30 minutes or so. Make something happen right before the main stage in World starts.
Very, very interesting uh analogy there, but yeah, I do see what you're coming at. Hopefully, start to see the more exciting part of League of Legends, the real tips and tricks and the little nicks and there's that people can end up doing. um uh, so we closer to getting underway.
Yeah,
who
we're dealing with the
who
spectator stuff. Sorry, what was your question?
I was gonna say, who do you think is who has the better gank potential when it comes to the junglers? Because both of them have the potential for
Gragas,
level 2
100%.
ganks.
Pre-6, it's Gragas hands down. The challenge is that Nocturne is a really level 6 dependent champion, but his clear speed is excellent. So we'll see what happens. Ooh, Gragas on Aftershock. I don't know if I like that. It's a full tank Gragas for sure, but you really need Predator to impact lanes. It's such a valuable rune for him. And Aftershock, it just doesn't really fit Gragas's play pattern, in my opinion. I play a lot of Gragas. I'm not the best Gragas in the world, but I like that burst of damage when you go in with the Predator. So, just my play style. I think it's probably meta. I'm probably being a meta slave there, but we'll see how it goes. I like the double press the attack on the two ADCs for Lionheart. I think that's gonna pay a lot of dividends in team fights later.
Especially with Twitch's little burn mechanic he has naturally implemented into him. I don't know if it's going to do too much of a bonus to it, but it definitely is going to do just a tiny bit more, hopefully.
The real trick is expunge. Press the attack lasts for 6 seconds, and it's damage from all sources. So it's going to benefit Nocturne, it's going to benefit Nautilus, it's going to benefit Tristana and Twitch, vice versa. And when Twitch goes to expunge, do the execute, it's going to really hurt. So Lucian running the same, that's more of a laning tool for Lucian. Lucian will trade better in lane with it. but Twitch and Tristana with their range, they'll be able to shred these tanks later in the game. I'm interested to see how Galio itemizes when AP is really his lane because of Shen's magic damage on his autos, but in the game overall, it's all about the AD damage. So
I definitely have to give the best skin to that Corgi though, because that is by far one of my favorites of like the goofy skins that are out there for sure.
I gotta go Arctic Ops Gragas personally, but that's only because it makes his ult really hard to see. That's why all the pros use it. It's basically cheating. Pretty much the only reason that skin is so good is because his ult looks like his Q. It's actually insane.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's why the pros use it. It's we'll watch this game. I'll point it out, but I use it myself. I bought it myself when I noticed it. It's absolutely crazy how sneaky that ult is.
As we are finally getting underway, the real question: do you think we're gonna get it in this game from either team?
I don't think so. I think Lionheart has the better invade comp, but oh, they're all running together. Maybe both teams are gonna do it. It looks like
Are we gonna get a double? Definitely one invade, but are we gonna get a double invade here?
maybe Monster Mash is trying to spot out an invade that happened previously. Maybe they watched a VOD or something. It looks like they're still playing pretty defensive.
And I don't think they're gonna
This
be
is
in
definitely a
range
level
of each
1,
other.
high kill potential here. If teams go to face check, if you go to walk around, you're really not gaining anything by doing this, unless by sitting in that tri brush. So I
No,
hope that when Monster Mash leaves this bush, they walk together, because otherwise they're screwed.
I don't know if they can see them from either team
They
can see
can't.
each other from
They
that
can't.
far. And it looks like they're gonna go in, and they're actually gonna. Two of them are gonna get split
Here
off.
we
So this is
go.
gonna be a 3v5
4v3.
invade.
It's a 4v3.
Ooh,
Oh,
Nautilus
as long
taking
as
a
with the
brunt
nice
of the
W.
damage.
Nautilus is dead. Oh, he fails.
Not gonna be enough. There goes Nautilus down to the Zyra. Multiple flashes having to go out. Definitely Buffalo having to flash out as well. Barely not gonna be able to get caught out as well.
Buffalo dies here. Oh no, maybe not.
Barely gonna be able to make it out. Is Shen gonna be able to? Everyone else makes it out. Oh no, they're still going on the Shen. Shen goes down. We'll have him use the plant to make sure.
Yeah,
he
that's a
escapes.
really great start for Monster Mash. Just a you have to be disciplined in these invade scenarios. You have to stay together. You have to. You can't just wander off. BB kind of walked towards mid. It looked like greeting for
It was like
Oh,
Nocturne's
this is
gonna.
fight.
Gragas is gonna get the blue
Gragas
buff while
gets
Nocturne
it. He can
tries
escape
with the
with the Zito.
Nautilus.
Nocturne could go down here. He won't. Yeah, this is a huge start for blue side. Oh my gosh.
Wow. Putting them already into a little
And Shen
over
used
K and a
teleport.
half.
The real thing, the gold is one thing, but the crazy thing is the Nocturne is still trapped at level 1. He's doing his wolves right now, and he's guaranteed to get 3 buffed. So the timing around level 6 for Nocturne is just super bad. It's so against him. He's not gonna hit level 6 till like 8 or 9 minutes into the game. These mid laners could be level 8. It's super scary for Nocturne right now.
Definitely needs to get either really fast clears in the jungle or gets stupid good ganks going on as well. And especially with Nocturne being stupid mana hungry as well, that's gonna be really hard for him to keep up either of that.
Yeah, without his mana item, he's gonna struggle. But the scuttles are coming up. Trista's gonna perma push. She took Demolish. She's just trying for turret plates. She's gonna perma push until she can turret plate this back into the gold. Yeah, it's really interesting play. I don't know if Demolish works that well on range champions, but it's definitely an interesting strategy.
It's not too good. I can see it with Triss though, because it adds, I think 10% of your total health gets transferred into the Demolish. And then on top of the explosive charge, it definitely at least 200 to 300 damage early game on a tower, which is a lot of damage, especially when you're trying to get plates.
Mm-hmm.
Tristana having the time of her life in the mid lane, to say the least. Like I kind of expected, top lane's just pretty much an even playing field, minus the fact that Shen got picked in the early game. There's not much you can really do about that. But it
Yeah,
definitely,
the goal difference isn't very much though. An assist at level 1 doesn't really count for very much.
in the bot lane, it looks like it's definitely towards the blue side of things, but red side isn't gonna let that bring them down. They're trying their best. Buffalo still hasn't hit level 3 yet though, but definitely very well played for both sides, doing what they could.
Yeah, I think Monster Mash is using their aggressive lanes a little better. It's it cast a curse. No, that was a good hook. That was a good hook by Altro, but unfortunately, you know, the return damage from Zyra, even with the level difference, is just, it negates all of Nautilus's tankiness, and later in the game it's just gonna get worse. So I think the Nocturne was good to get double scuttle. That was really good pathing on Doomsday, compared to, you know, Gragas got the 3 buffs, but he gave up a scuttle for it. So it looks like EXP wise, it's not
It was like in the bot lane, Buffalo's gonna get caught out. Gonna be able to Greg is and not stuck on the other two. Greg is missing the E flash, but still getting on the Buffalo. Barely gonna be able to get him down. And Nautilus now just has to run, but is he gonna be able to get his? There's the hook to escape, but is he gonna be able to make it?
Zyra saw his flash.
Root coming on. There it goes. Nautilus also going down as well. Very unfortunate for red team.
Yeah, I think just a really well executed gank. You know, there were some mechanical misplays, but they had a plan. They stuck to it.
Definitely, Greg is still put himself in a position where he was still. Oh, Galio almost getting the Shen in the top lane though. You know, Greg has still put himself in a really good position to keep following up and just keep the damage on both of them.
Yeah, definitely. The greed for the tower plating is a little dangerous here from Snow Too Funky in that bot lane, but when you know that the Nocturne is so far behind and he's not going to be level 6 to come fly in and kill you, you can go and be greedy. So I like it. I think it's a good play. Normally I discourage greed, but sometimes greed is good, according to Gordon Gecko.
Well, as long as you greed properly, you know, there's not really much to worry about.
Yeah, maybe it's not that greedy if it's the right call.
So Tristana definitely dominating in the mid lane, as Corky's just kind of poking with everything that he's got, but maybe something from the Zyra or the Gragas on the mid lane. Tristana's just a little too pushed into her tower though, so.
So I don't know if you noticed this, but the second that the pink ward from Zyra went down, does Seraph know? He must.
It looks like Gragas is gonna steal the blue buff from Nocturne again, putting him even.
Yeah, really good steal. That's a lot of damage onto Nocturne too. I wonder
Tristana
if
coming in
looks
to
like
help
the
though.
here.
Not gonna really do much though.
They're just gonna walk away. Yeah, I like the buff rotation though. It was a little, you know, haphazard because of they didn't bring their bot lane up and they're still losing in pressure. Like Twitch is still pushing, which is crazy considering the kill disparity. But they could have gotten more there if they had executed on that a little better. Overall, I think they have the right idea though.
Sorry, I had to tab out for a second.
No, you're good. So we're seeing some really good trading. I want to see the Shen take advantage though. He kind of, when he puts up his, yeah, see, that's a much better trade. That's the kind of trading pattern that Shen needs to take against the Galio. Galio's damage is very front loaded. He throws out all his abilities, he CCs you, he procs Aftershock, and then he's got nothing. Shen's is more consistent. He can keep swinging.
Especially since Shen
Big
runs
fights
on
all over the map.
bot lane, Nautilus got rooted by the Zyra, and a lot of damage went on to him. Got him about half, but as potions go down, you know, kind of even out the damage a little bit. Shen gets taunted
That's a nice
again.
taunt, but no follow up. Really nice hook. The zoning tools from Zyra are just super valuable. They're really keeping the solution safe.
She has a a route that she doesn't have to worry about minions. Oh, Shen actually getting Galio in the top. Galio got a little bit too greedy and went underneath tower.
Yeah, he fought too much under the tower. I thought he thought he could trade away, but Shen with the Spectre's Cal regened a little bit, and it's not gonna be so easy now.
Yeah, look back into the so going back to the bot lane though, Zyra, the main difference between Nautilus's main CC and Zyra's main CC is that Zyra's doesn't have to worry about minions and it just pushes all the way through. On top of being able to also put more damage out with the plants as well. But in the mid lane,
really good.
looks like Galio is gonna ult in on the Gragas and try to go after the Shen. Shen's gonna barely get caught out. No one else is gonna be able to really come and help him with that. Giving Corki a double kill onto the Shen. Tristana went down as well. There comes a Nautilus ult to get double knockout.
Level 5. This is a huge fight. This is a gigantic fight for Monster Mash. This is an ace.
Wow. All the pressure went into the mid lane, but not really much going to be able to come from the red side. That is going to be mid tower without a doubt.
Yeah, so basically this is all the debt that red side took for the early buffs getting paid. You know, Nocturne's not level 6. Buffalo's lower level than Snow. They just had no pressure on the map. Shen had to blow ulti just to save BB the first time, and then when they went back into fight, there were no tools. So, you know, I know Gragas blew ult and didn't get anything for it, but overall in the fight, it was just super one-sided, and you got to be more coordinated, and you just got to learn to not take a fight if it's not going to go well. This is super in Monster Mash's favor. It seems like their players are coming online. I really like the poke support adaptation. You know, I think the style they were playing before obviously wasn't working. But if I'm looking at Lionheart, the way into this game is through BB. You need BB to get more gold. They're only about 500 down on Corki right now, which considering the kill score isn't horrible. And now that Nocturne is 6, you need to make something happen and get this Tristana going, because it's pretty much going to be your best damage source through the rest of the game.
So as everyone tries to recuperate from that team fight, because that was a huge gold advantage on the blue side now. With mid lane being the only one that's really
Here comes Nocturne.
Nocturne comes in for the ultimate though. Is he gonna be able to get him? Not enough damage. Flash going out, and Nocturne has to go down as well. Even out the trade, but it gives Tristana the chance. Never mind, it's not give Tristana the chance with Gragas coming in. Definitely a really good follow-up for Gragas though. And even with Tristana being about even on, maybe even on, no, about even with the enemy team.
The Twitch damage is getting overshadowed completely by Lucian. Lucian's got a full Bork. All Twitch had was a Cutlass. It was just an ill-advised fight.
There goes Gragas going over for the Rift Herald as well. Top lane also being shoved in as well. Hopefully gonna be smarter and not fight him under tower this time. But definitely very
Yeah, I think we want to put a fork in this one. It's super one-sided. All the neutral objectives are going blue side's way. They're getting tower pressure. Even the pushing lanes are kind of backfiring here for Lionheart Esports. You know, they have the mid has been pushing all game, the bot lane's been pushing all game, top has been trading pretty heavily, and they're kind of just naturally losing, while the jungler disparity in EXP levels, all that stuff isn't closing. So maybe they can make a play with Nocturne, maybe they can get back on the map here, but I think counter jungling is going to start happening. There's going to be groups for pushes now. Herald can go down really soon. I think they want to drop that Herald before the turret plating goes down, but maybe not. There's a lot of stuff that can happen. I wonder if they drop Herald mid here.
I think it would be better if they dropped it.
I think it's too late. I think let Herald go, take your fast recall, get a full tower with it, go topside with it later on and get your tower, because unless you can get the plates, using Herald isn't really worth.
We still get the global gold from tower regardless, which can help, but
look at how low those towers are. They were both bot and mid were under 2 plates. You can use Herald top and get the whole tower instead of just finishing off a almost dead tower.
yeah, this is also true. Unless you can do a really fantastic push up into the the mid lane, take the first tower, and then be able to still use Rift to either take or almost kill the tier 2
Yeah,
tower.
if you can get second tower damage, that's definitely a good point. Yeah, I didn't consider that. That's a good point. Most teams will collapse and not let that happen, but with this 12-2 lead,
And here comes the ult onto the
comes
Galio
top.
up top lane. It won't really be able to do much though. As
Really
Shen gets
nice
his
timing
combo.
by Islamic Samurai there.
Galio's already starting to get to his extra tanky part though. So not much damage to be able to go on to the Galio, but he still has to recall for that. Now, a question that I've had for a hot minute.
Sure.
What is the benefits of 2 door
Oh, cancel the jump. Hold on. Huge fight here. Corky wins. Yeah, that was a huge play. My Mendingo Zir. Canceling the jump. Oh, and another gigantic. Oh my god, the
Wow.
damage. This is just melting. Okay, the cross map is just disgusting. There's no world where they win here. Yeah.
Wow, so Corky taking out the Tristana though. There goes the Rift Herald to the mid actually, so that's gonna be tier 2 tower without a doubt. Bot lane got the Twitch but wasn't able to follow up on the Nautilus due to the Shen ulti. Shen absolutely getting shredded in the bot lane. Tier 2 goes down, going for the tier 3 as they might also get this one as well. And as Tristana, Twitch, and Nautilus try to back it off. Not really, finally getting the Herald out, but it looks like the value from that is just honestly too much for them to really come back from. So we are currently looking at about 8+ K gold difference, 13 kill difference, not even 20 minutes in yet either.
Yeah, there's all kinds of challenges here for Lionheart. Twitch hasn't finished an item yet. Nocturne's build is a little questionable with the attack speed boots. Shen hasn't finished an item yet. They've finally gotten wards down. The ward item finished with Nautilus. Tristana's just sitting on a Believe the Ruin King when Corky's certainly going to come back, you know, and spend that BF sword worth of money in his pocket, probably on a BF sword. It's snowballing out of control pretty far here. So, what was the burning question you had?
What is
question?
what is the point of grabbing 2 Doran's rings?
I think the base stats are decent. There's probably a gold efficiency there, but so the old answer is that the passives and all that used to be unique, or used to not be unique, and now they are. So I think it's really just for laning.
It's still just passive.
Yeah, you're basically buying lane power at the expense of future items. So the Galio knows that his role is just I want to clear minions and trade on with Shen. Whatever I do else in the game doesn't matter because my team is winning really hard. So it's basically just you're buying base stats with no potential for growth. They also do like they sell pretty efficiently. I think they sell for 50%. So it's not the end of the world building them, but yeah, they're really just an early game only pickup.
It's like blue team is looking to trying to get that top tower as Galio just dies in tower. Tristana answers though, is gonna be able to get the Galio in return.
They didn't notice the Twitch. That was good stealth play by Twitch. They needed that way sooner in the game.
Shen barely escaping, and it looks like they're both gonna go back as well. Definitely a good answer to the top lane at least.
I think this tower goes to Corky for sure.
No one's gonna really be able to answer that bot lane fast enough. That's another great thing about Corky. He's got a really strong push potential as well, especially towards the later game.
Yeah, with the Triforce, he really has a good ability to proc Sheen. Remember our last check-in, he had 1300, and now he had 2800. So he just got a BF sword and a Caulfield. So you think he was strong before, he's gonna be even stronger. Going towards that, my gosh, the item names are escaping me.
Essence Reaver.
Yeah, Essence Reaver, thank you. So, yeah, this outer tower should be
As
surrendered.
the two ultimates
Oh,
come
here
out, one
comes
from the
Nocturne.
Nautilus, one from the Nocturne. Nocturne going
Zyra
in, not
better
going to be able to do
ability.
much as he goes down to the Zyra. Graga's ultimate tried to help, but not really much happened. And the Ruth coming down, the Galio ult coming out as well. Galio getting the Nocturne as well as Lucian's just gonna be able to poke most of them out anyways. So that
Yeah,
is gonna
this is just a money fight. You know, my wallet is bigger than your wallet. I think Lionheart played that really well, but it just, you know, you're so far behind. You're 10,000 gold behind at 19 minutes. It's very
there's the flash taunt coming from
Ooh, I don't know about this
Galio. Galio gonna be able to stop.
Oh, they had the
and
Corky
there
package,
goes
the stopwatch. Really
2-1
well
down.
done there then. Yeah, it was a little concerning, but they knew that what they had and they were calling out their resources, so they knew more than the casters. That was good.
Yeah, that is definitely really, again, great grouping by them as well. Start to 5, they ended with 5, and that is definitely the best way to keep an advantage going as well. And as Corky goes back and get his Essence Reaver finally.
Yeah, really, you know, 2 items to an item and a crit cloak. I don't know how I feel about the crit cloak on Tristana. We're just seeing the wallet fight, like we said. This game is pretty over. I don't see a world in where the comeback happens unless we're here for another 25 minutes. Even then, I would question what Monster Mash has been doing for 20 minutes. So, I think this is really put a fork in them. He's done. They're gonna collect their buffs. They're gonna fight. Baron will go down pretty soon. It's pretty good. It's pretty much ready to go.
And it looks like in the bot lane they're going for another group up. Tristana is not there to help answer that though if the fight does go off. They do have Twitch though, but Tristana definitely has a better output right now.
So the real secret of getting, you know, red side back in the game is Nocturne and Twitch need to hit level 11. Those level 2 ults are way better than the level 1 versions, and it's super important that they get there if they're gonna even consider coming back.
Especially with the enemy team definitely has to be really close to each other as well. And with Twitch being able to get his ultimate, which pierces through everything until it reaches its max range, definitely is what they really need to, and that's actually going to be a Baron as well before Red Team can react. Shen tried, but he's not going to be able to escape that as well as Zyra's ult goes down to take out the Nocturne as well. Nautilus goes down as well, leaving Boof and Tristana, but they're not going to really be able to answer.
I think this will be game.
As Buffalo barely not going to be able to escape. And this will definitely probably be
This is going to be the mid push. Yeah, they're just going to shut this down, at least get the inhib, and I think they'll be ready to close. It's pretty like we talked about earlier, you know, there's 3 deathless members on Monster Mash. They're lining up for their first win. They wanted this. They picked a lot of power picks. You know, they had a good idea what they wanted to do going into the comp. I really like a lot of the builds. The coordinated dive top side was really nice. Oh nope, they're going to be conservative. They're going for that Fire Drake. They want to choke him out. I can see that, you know. Both these teams are winless at the moment. The last thing you want to do is walk into their base and throw, you know, and then still be winless. So I get it. You know, even though on paper it's almost a 15,000 gold lead, they can't see that. They can't see what the casters and everyone else can see. So they're just here to they just want to close out. Which I respect. I totally get it.
And there goes the Infernal Drake in 4 or 5. There's a full recall. This should be the final push, if anything. Supermans are starting to get towards the base. The only one who's actually been able to make somewhat of a comeback gold-wise has been that Tristana. But even then, the only one she matches with is Gragas and Zyra. Even with 205 CS, still just the gold difference has been astronomical for all of them.
So do you want to hear the secret on how red side wins?
Besides the
Here's-
level 2 buffs?
No. On how they win the game at this state, right? You know the game's in a really bad position. How does red side actually win this, right? I'll tell you the answer. They need to sit and let Tristana take all of the mid lane farm. Because what's going to happen is all these red side minions that are coming out of the base are dying to super creeps. Blue side is getting none of their EXP or gold value, and red side has a free pipeline of EXP and gold. So if you can sit and let the Tristana catch literally everything coming into the base, eventually one of your carries will be big enough.
Shen barely escaping that 4v1 engage as Gragas, everyone throws everything at him. That passive.
Yeah,
shield
it was a
definitely
good juke on the
strong.
Gragas ult, basically knocked him the wrong way, but this inner tower is going down.
Twitch really is going to be able to answer with that, and Nautilus, coming up at a bad time. It's like
Yeah, the siege should be pretty interesting. You're seeing minions hit all three lanes, all three lanes. They've opted to 4-1 this. Galio's going to use his minions to push it in. Red side needs to engage here pretty soon, or the super minions piling in the base are going to peel Tristana away.
This is now a
Shen's
4v4 in the top lane as the is just absolutely crushing for the red side. Tristan is not going to be able to fight that Galio either. Now inside their base at the towers.
You can see the indecision here. They don't really know what to do, and it's a very difficult problem to solve. You know, you don't really know how to engage this, how to make this happen, and you don't want to be the one to lose, right? But what you have to do here is make an organized play, use your superior numbers, and then retreat and recover the damage done to your base. They weren't able to do that. It looks like Monster Mash is going to pick up their first win.
And there we go. Finally, as the ultimates come out, they're trying their best to fight, but they're not going to really damage against the power that has become
KDA time now.
Monster Mash.
Everyone's just padding their stats.
Looks like they're trying to go for more kills. I always hate when people do this. Get the Nexus, send the game. Don't worry about kills, especially when you are that far ahead. But great game. Both red team definitely did their best to do what they could, but the power of Monster Mash was just not enough. So great,
Yeah, I think
great.
level 1 was super flawed.